Hello everyone, welcome once again to our channel Grow and Give, where we talk about organic farming, sustainable farming, and how it can help children get back to school. So today we'll be talking about a controversial topic, and it is the difference between hybrid and GMO. We want to clear the confusion in modern farming. So, have you ever been in the market and heard someone say, these big tomatoes must be GMO? Well, today we'll clear the air because not every big crop is GMO. Some are simply hybrids. And trust me, the difference between hybrid and GMO is as big as the difference between baked bread at home and baked bread in the factory. Though both are bread, but not made the same way. So grab a cup of tea or cup of coffee and let's break this down. So, number one, why do people get confused? Now, in most areas, in rural areas, for instance, where I stay, especially here in Nigeria, many farmers and consumers confuse hybrid seeds with GMOs. They think anything that grows faster, bigger, and looks foreign must be genetically modified. But that's not true. Both hybrid and GMO crops are developed to improve food quality and yield, but they are created in completely different ways. Let's take a closer look. One, what is hybrid? Simple. A hybrid plant is created when two plants of the same species, like two types of tomatoes, are crossed to combine their best qualities. So take for instance a parent, a father which is a footballer or who is a footballer, and a mother who is a bookworm. When they marry and they give birth, the child can like playing football and also make good grades. So that is the best quality of their fruits. So for example, when you have one tomato variety that may resist disease and another that may produce more fruits. Now when you cross them together, you get a hybrid tomato. That is a high yielding, uniform and disease resistant tomato. And that's how we get varieties like Platinum F1, Diva F1 or Cobra F1 tomatoes. And it is a natural process. No lab genetic modification, no foreign DNA, just careful selection and controlled pollination between two compatible plants. So now let's flip the chart. What is a GMO? Now, GMO means genetically modified organism. This happens when scientists take a gene from one organism, it could be a bacterium, a plant, or even an animal, and insert it into another plant's DNA to give it a specific new trait. So that means there are different species, different. For hybrid, they are the same species, but for GMO, they are different species. So for example, a bacterium gene that kills pests can be inserted into a maize, creating a Bt maize that naturally fights pests. Or to put it in simple terms, imagine I have a car now. Let's imagine we have a gene of a car, and I want the car to fly. If I go and get the gene of an airplane and insert it into a car, you can see they are different. They are different genes. So that is that is how a GM is made. Different organism, different gene, and bringing their genes together. So GMO are created in laboratories. They are not created in fields, and they use biotechnology tools, not through natural cross-pollination. So in Nigeria, GMO crops like BT cowpea, that's beans, have been approved for use. Globally, countries like the USA, Brazil, and India use GMOs widely in maize, soybeans, and cotton. But hybrid crops remains the most common option for farmers, especially in Africa, because they are more natural and widely accepted. Now, let us create a breakdown of the difference between hybrid crops and GMO crops, comparing them side by side. That's one for hybrid crops. They are cross between two plants of the same species, while GMOs are genes inserted from different species using biotechnology. Two, controlled cross-pollination is done for the hybrid crops, while genetic engineering in laboratory for the GMO crops. Then the examples of hybrid crops they include platinum, F1 tomatoes, hybrid maize, hybrid pepper, and the likes. Then for GMO crops we have BT maize, we have BT cotton, we have Roundup ready soya beans. So and another difference between hybrid and GMO is that hybrid have improved yield, size, taste, and disease resistance. Why GMO crops they add specific traits like pest resistance, drought resistance, and herbicide resistance. So for hybrid seeds or hybrid plants or hybrid crops, only plant DNA from the same species is used. Why for GMO crops, DNA from another organism or species is introduced. So two species, different species are used. Now, the safety and regulation about hybrid, they are generally accepted and used globally. Why for GMO, they are highly regulated, and there are public concerns about health and environment as regards GMO. So in Nigeria, that's for hybrid seeds. They are very common: tomatoes, maize, peppers, cucumbers, and etc. But for GMO, they are very, very, very limited. Very limited. Now, public perception: hybrid seeds are seen as natural and safe, but the public perception on GMO are seen as unnatural and kind of bit controversial. They are very controversial. So most of the confusion comes from appearance. Here in Nigeria, hybrid crops often look bigger, taste better, and mature faster, like GMOs might. So people assume they are the same thing. But now you know, hybrid crops are naturally bred, while GMO are scientifically engineered. It is like comparing natural twins to clones. They may look alike, but they are the same but they came to be in completely different form. So understanding this difference is very, very important for farmers and consumers worldwide. Why? Because hybrid seeds help smallholder farmers improve yields and naturally and safely, while GMO can help solve bigger global problems like pest attack, drought, and food shortages. So so the next time someone points at a big tomato or a big cucumber and says this must be GMO, just smile and say not every big crop is GMO. Some are just smartly bred hybrids. So let me take it to another level. Here in Nigeria, there are some political concerns about or controversies about GMO, how it can affect our health. I watched a video one time, and someone made a striking statement, and he said, when you give a gun to a policeman, he uses it wisely to safeguard. But when you give a gun to an armed robber, it causes chaos with it. Now, GMO is a technology. It depends on who is using it and how it is being used. If it can be positively used, it will be to the benefit of everyone. But if it is selfishly and negatively used, it might do more harm than good. So it's not about the technology now, it's about those or who is handling the technology. So that's all I have to say about GMO and hybrid. And I believe I've been able to convince you and not to confuse you that hybrids are different from GMOs. So if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with other farmers or students who might be confused. Together we can grow smarter, feed more families, and protect our environment. Thank you. Bye.